Chairman Schatz, Vice Chair Makowski, and members of the committee. Thank you for the opportunity to submit testimony as it relates to agriculture priorities in Native communities in 2023. I am Kari Jo Lawrence, the Executive Director of the Intertribal Agriculture Council and a co-chair of the Native Farm Bill Coalition. For 35 years, the IAC has supported tribal producers across the country through technical assistance, market access, natural resources programs, and advocacy around the policies that govern the tribal agriculture landscape. With 2023 marking a Farm Bill reauthorization year, the IAC and its co-stewards of the Native Farm Bill Coalition are elevating tribal agriculture priorities, some of which are unique to USDA programming, but many address the Bureau of Indian Affairs oversight of tribal lands. The Native Farm Bill Coalition has received feedback from tribal leaders offering resounding support for greater 638 contracting authority throughout USDA programming and greater parity. 638 authority is an acknowledgement of tribal sovereignty that opens the door to food purchasing decisions, allowing for more tribally produced foods that support tribal economies. The two 638 pilot projects authorized in the 2018 Farm Bill are a step in the right direction and offer a strong foundation for permanent and expanded 638 authorities in 2023. At minimum, the existing pilot projects should be made permanent, but there is strong support for expansion. Indian country rarely fits neatly within the county and state-based frameworks under which most USDA programs operate, resulting in inconsistent access to USDA programs. Credit, conservation, commodities, and crop insurance are foundational to all agriculture producers, but accessing these presents unique challenges to tribal producers, often due to the status of the land on which they operate. Indian country is a credit desert that affords tribal producers few options for the capital necessary for agriculture operations. Native CDFIs have been a key source for credit for tribal producers, but have limitations. The Farm Service Agency needs greater flexibility, and Native CDFIs need resources to bridge that or fill the credit gap that exists. Also, greater education and accountability on the lender side are critical to improving access to credit. Risk is an inherent component of agriculture, and the commodity, conservation, and crop insurance titles of the Farm Bill are intended to guard against some of these risks. But the current framework under which the programs supported by these titles operate is often ill-suited to meet the needs of tribal producers because USDA programs are often administered at a county or state committee level. Add in BIA oversight, and tribal producers find themselves responsible for navigating a maze of bureaucracy between two federal agencies. Without cooperation and accountability at BIA in every office across Indian country, the Farm Bill will fall short of providing comprehensive improvements to tribal agriculture. Many tribal producers express frustration around BIA's land management and lease enforcement practices, often citing BIA delays and lack of transparency. Clearer processes and timelines around agriculture leases, enforcement of lease terms, and clarity around producers' rights in relation to agriculture leases would begin to address tribal producers' concerns. BIA roadblocks may also be alleviated through more widespread use of agriculture resource management plans and more technical assistance dedicated to tribal producers. ARMPs prioritize tribal management of agriculture resources and provide opportunities for tribes to benefit from their own resources, yet only a handful of tribes have developed ARMPs. This is due in part to the expense and complexity inherent in planning for integrated resource use, as well as capacity limitations in carrying out the plans. Adequate funding and technical assistance resources on the front end would better support the labor-intensive development of ARMPs. Key to opportunities like ARMPs is technical assistance to connect tribal producers to implementation resources. The IAC has entered into recent multi-year technical assistance agreements with the USDA that have enabled us to serve as a bridge between producers and USDA programming. A similar approach at BIA may serve better to connect tribes and tribal producers to BIA resources. In sum, supporting tribal agriculture priorities can improve opportunities for tribal producers, advance tribal sovereignty, build tribal economies, and improve tribal community health. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Frias, please proceed.